I thought I would do the guys a favor and brush hog a pathway to one of the deer blinds out here, because, you know, it's the time to do it. And apparently we lost the brush hog somehow. Get on out of here before something whaps me. Alright, I finally wrestled the brush hog away from Eric. Actually, he went to go work on his lawnmower, so we're going to clean up the pasture. It is very overgrown. Usually it's not like this unless it's springtime, but I have not had time to go through and mow it, so it's a disaster. So we're gonna get this cleaned up and get this little guy running back here. There we go. Stuff is as tall as me through here. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so it was as tall as me. Now it's micro tall. Finally getting around to brush hogging the hay fields. Well, okay, I don't know if you guys call it bush hogging or brush hogging. I don't know where the term came from, but I've always heard it called brush hogging, even though the name brand is Bush Hog. Go figure. Anyway, so we are going to be cutting the hay field, and actually, here it is. Now, actually, looking at it right now, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe I should get out and walk it first before I decide to brush hog it. Pretty much what we did with the other hay field, when it was starting to grow in, I went through and brush hogged it several times to knock back the weeds, and it works. I haven't been back to look at it yet this year. Maybe I should really quick today, but I haven't seen too much for Queens Anne lace. Let's go out and take a look at this. Okay, so we've got some strange wild grasses growing. I believe this is side oats grama, but I'm not sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a native grass. And then, like I said, I think it's called side oats grama because it looks like oats hanging off the side. But I could be wrong. There's a lot of it, and honestly, if that stuff wants to grow, I really don't care. It can grow to its heart content. This, you can see, this is all the orchard grass trying to grow in, and it's really coming up a lot better. I did go through and fertilize it, and maybe that's kind of what helped it. I don't know. So this area obviously has a lot less grass. I don't think I can see any grass, actually. Oh, there's a little bit, just a little bit in there. So this definitely needs some help through here. So we've got half the field up there growing great. This is the lower portion of the field, so this has been underwater for a good portion of the year. You can see it just looks yellow. It looks like it's struggling. But the ground is pretty dry. We haven't had rain in quite a while. This just isn't very good ground for a hayfield, I don't think. It's gonna take some work to get it growing. Just maybe, we might be able to get when cutting out of this fall. And if not, then I'll just go through and brush hog it again, fertilize it real well in the fall, and then hopefully springtime we can have some hay. But that brings me to question number 2. All of these new fields we planted, when we planted them, they were very, very wet. There was nothing we can do. It was a crappy year for planting. So how can we go about making our fields smoother again without going through and killing off the entire field and redoing the whole thing? Because realistically, you could run into the same issue of being stuck with rain again. So I was kind of thinking maybe going over it lightly with a disc and then, I don't know, beating it a little bit, smoothing it back out, and maybe packing it. As far as this goes, I'm gonna cut this puppy down. Field number 3. While it does look nice and green and it has much fewer weeds, it has a lot more native grasses growing in it. And this has always been a very wet area. This is the first time we've ever planted something in it. You can just see it's just all those native grasses. But I guess that's a better alternative than weeds. This stuff's actually looking really good through here. I'm half tempted to just leave this and then bale it up in the fall. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of weeds, but I guess, I don't know, it's a tough call. It's tough. Alright, let's go look down here and see what the rest of the field looks like. This, you can see it's just grasses. It's native grasses, wet grasses. And this field connects into that one, so maybe I should just brush hog a pathway down the center. There's some pink clover. That's a clover. Actually, it's kind of funny because look at the strip of the field. It's like there's clover here, and then there's native grasses, and then there's clover. It's almost like it was like planted with clover. Strange, so strange. Maybe it's just how I fertilized it. I don't know. And then here's like a whole chunk that's just all that crappy weed stuff. So this is weeds and grass and clover. See, these are the weeds that I don't want to reseed in my hayfield. These are the things that I need to cut out as an annual. So if I cut it out, it will not grow back. But if it goes to seed, then it will. One thing I'm not seeing is Queens Anne lace. I spent 2 different passes last year cutting Queens Anne lace out of this field, sacrificing all of my hay, and it paid off, guys. No weed killer, just cutting it. I noticed, like, cause I always look backwards when I'm doing this, and I noticed it was kind of like swiveling back and forth. I'm like, what is going on? Why is it doing that? And I see the 3-point arm is ripped off. So step 1 is raise it up, hopefully. Or maybe not. Well, I guess I can carefully try to drive it backwards and out. Not have had to do this before. Ideally, you don't want to be going backwards with this thing because obviously I don't know how well it's gonna go backwards. It's gonna be hard to steer. Gosh, yep, that was definitely completely gone. Well, I guess first let me get this out of the way. Okay, that is satiated. This, gosh, unless I can just find some place to drive forward and out of here. There's really only one way into this area because there's a creek that runs through here and this is it. However, it's dry enough, maybe I can sneak out the back. I think I can pull this and it'll be okay. I think the hard part is just backing up. Anyway, I'm gonna try and come out right through here. Hopefully it's dry enough, there shouldn't be anything there. I just don't know how many dips are gonna be down in there. And I'm not sure like what that thing can handle. All right, so far so good. It's just chilling out on the ground right there. Alright, scream if something falls off, please. I'm just making my own path through here. Oh gosh, I really hope there's no ditch. I hope there's no. Okay. Like I said, there's a ditch over here and I can't back up. Oh my gosh. I really. Away! Ah! Okay, get back up here. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Yeah. If that, I mean, it seemed like nothing, but literally, if I got tipped too far sideways, the logical thing to do is back up and pull out of there and, you know, reorient yourself until you can find level ground, but I kind of can't back up with this thing on the back. So, yeah, fortunately, it ended well. As far as this is very fixable. At least it appears to be very fixable. It's a bolt, so, yeah, the pins and stuff, I'm gonna have to get new ones, but I don't know. Alright, so we got a new bolt and nut for that and get that back together. The linkage right here we pulled off from the box blade. And the other thing is the wheel was having issues. So Eric went the second time and welded it, but this time he welded it at work. This part had completely come off. So he welded it, spray painted that, and then we're gonna slip that back up in the, I don't know, is it the axle hub? What do you even call that?
Wheel hub, maybe?
Wheel hub.